Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And on a very special episode of
Is it
Clownfish
special?
TV. I guess it's another day. Lucasfilm has apparently promoted Dave Filoni to executive creative director. So this is kind of sort of big news. We're gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna talk about whether or not it's going to indicate any major change in the direction of Star Wars and or Lucasfilm. And you're nodding your head like, nah, I don't think so.
I question that, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, so before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 190,000 subs. Thank you for the support. It's greatly appreciated. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. We do talk about Star Wars, not as much as we used to because we're not nearly as excited about it as we used to be. But this is an interesting development. It just dropped a couple hours ago that Dave Filoni was promoted to executive creative director of Star Wars. Now, it seemed to have originated from this Reddit thread, and we got it from Fanthatrax and also a hat tip from our friend Sarah.
Yep.
Who sent that over. But yeah, they put it on Reddit, and could this indicate more changes coming to Lucasfilm? Possibly. It's weird that it happens right after the Q2 earnings call, right after there's been talk about Disney's stock not being so hot, right after they missed their mark with subscribers on Disney Plus. They don't want to lose a guy who's instrumental in the future of Star Wars, Mandalorian and the Bad Batch and all that. So anyway, Dave Filoni, the primary creative force behind animated series The Clone Wars and Rebels, has seemingly been promoted to executive creative director per Star Wars fan site Fanthatrax. They ran with it first. He's sharing the role with John Knoll and Doug Chang. So he was instrumental in The Mandalorian, a show he's credited as an executive producer on. Now, I tried to go out and find his page on the Star Wars website earlier, and there was so much traffic that I couldn't, but it is up now. So let's go out and see. This is Dave Filoni talking with one of his creations, not Rosario Dawson. He's not Rosario's dad or anything like that.
Never. I want to take a moment. Go Pittsburgh!
Yeah. Filoni is from Pittsburgh. So we have that in common, that Pittsburgh-ish bond here. So yeah, Dave Filoni realized lifelong dream 2005 when he was selected by George Lucas to build the animation studio from the ground up with Clone Wars. Again, that was something George had a direct hand in. A lot of people wanted Filoni to take over for George. That was not the case, but he's not really a business-minded guy, as I understand it. He wants to be, the creative force.
But some people just aren't business, savvy. They don't want to be that.
Right.
They don't want to be in charge of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's currently working on the Book of Boba Fett. He's the executive producer of The Bad Batch on
Which everybody says is really
Disney
good,
Plus,
except for those who are mad about whitewashing. Everybody else keeps saying, I haven't got to see it, but everybody keeps saying how good it is. I guess there's a female character that's very Mary Sue-ish. I don't know about that, but
yeah. So we're going to go through the positives here. The positives here that clearly there's something up. We got to wonder if there aren't changes afoot. There have been more rumors lately. Again, rumors about Kathleen Kennedy sort of moseying on out of Lucasfilm. That does not mean Filoni will take her place. It's more likely that they're going to promote anyone. It'd be Jon Favreau.
I don't know, because you don't see him getting a position. But here's what I'm concerned about. I have concerns.
Here's the other shoe.
Here's my concerns. Do I think it's going to change that much? No. And I'll tell you why. Because Filoni has been out there many times talking to the points that Lucasfilm would want him to talk to. He did what was the thing? It was a
National
summit,
Center for Women and Information Technology
Summit.
Yeah.
And on that, when he was there, he was talking about, how they want to make change about women being there and being more women, which I'm not, opposed to, as long as they're like good characters and not, crappy characters with no purpose other than to belittle other people. So they're talking about the Star Wars, and they said about how they tried to create more female characters that can represent many things, because what we're trying to do isn't just create one type of character. We're trying to create a diverse range of characters, especially female characters that are strong and independent. Okay, cool. We got that with some of the ones we've seen. And And then they talked about the fan feedback to Ray and Jyn Erso. Now, I didn't really see much against Jyn Erso. Some people I know didn't like that movie that much. I saw it more with Ray, but that's because I really didn't like Ray, so I paid more attention to that.
Yeah, I think, there was, if I recall correctly, people were like, oh, God, here we go again with another female-led Star Wars movie. But yeah, it wasn't, even the backlash against Ray, I don't think was that bad until The Force Awakens came out, and then people were like, oh,
or I mean, The Last Jedi.
Or The Last Jedi came out, yeah.
Yeah, Last Jedi. God. So here's what they said. He said, we haven't done a movie for 10 years, and here comes a Star Wars film, and here comes Rey. What is it, Panic in the Streets? Oh my gosh, a female lead in a Star Wars movie. And then the trailer for Rogue One comes out. Oh my gosh, how unfair. We probably had like 2 million straight films, cinematic roles where men have been leads, and now we're done two in a row with that's women. Well, too bad. Oh well, maybe there's more coming. I don't know. So we're trying to pander to these women at this event. Here's the thing. I'm a girl. Here, Kneon, check. Am I a girl?
Yes, you are.
I don't like, this is stupid. Like, I thought there was women in Star Wars, especially if you read the Expanded Universe stuff. They've been around for a long time. It isn't a new thing. I have nothing against making good characters that are female. I think we had some great ones in The Mandalorian. And I'm thinking Book of Boba Fett, we're going to get some more good ones. I have no problem with that. But I was one of the ones who said Rey was a bad character. That was one of the first things I said, was she was so Mary Sue, and that came from me, and I'm a girl. So, I mean, it's just this whole idea that, it's all, people are against women is not always the case. Maybe sometimes characters just suck. Maybe that's just, the way it is. It has nothing to do with, because we're against women. I'm so tired of being spun that way. Because there were lots of other female characters that you had and things that people actually liked. So, no. Just no. But anyway, that's one of my issues. My other issue is how much he likes Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, Rian Johnson is probably a good director and other things. Apparently, some of his other stuff is very, very good. I don't think that he's always bad at stuff. I just don't think he was the right choice for Star Wars, given what kind of films he likes to do.
Yeah.
I also think that my problem with Rian Johnson was, besides the fact of, what he did with the Star Wars films, but his attitude towards people with the man baby comments and stuff, that I had a problem with. I was like, you're supposed to be better. I think a lot of it wouldn't have escalated as much.
Yeah, I agree. There were so many points you look at how the relationship between Disney and Lucasfilm and the fans deteriorated, and there were so many points in time where it's like if you just
reined it in?
Yeah, just zigged instead of zagged at this one critical juncture, you might have actually been able to pull it out of a tailspin.
If you pulled the chisel out instead of shoving it in further, you might have stopped, you might have stopped the fracture.
Yeah.
Or it would have been a much smaller fracture.
It's like, when you try to fix something and you actually make it worse. That's kind of what,
And the attitude, the attacking fans was really bad, and Disney let it happen, and they were probably bad, egging him on. So here's the thing, encouraging him to do it. Here's the thing, he apparently was nice and took, Filoni under his wing. I guess he wanted to come in and they were letting him come onto the sets, and he got to go onto the Force Awakens set and, Rogue One and stuff, but when he went to The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, I gotta say, was instrumental for me as far as just grabbing me, getting me right up next to the camera with him and the DP blocking a scene, which I think is cool. I mean, I don't like Rian Johnson that much, but it's really cool that he got him in there and tried to show him how to do it, because he was trying to learn and no one else was apparently taking the time. So he took time to show him. And as a teacher, I'm always supportive of that. He said he was very supportive of my early efforts because I'm kind of a person that if I show up on a big movie set, I just want to be invisible. Dude, you and me both. I don't want to bother anybody. They have a lot to do. So apparently, he talks about George Lucas and how George Lucas got him and stuff, but then he gives credit to Rian Johnson as well. So he has a relationship with Rian Johnson.
Yeah, so, I mean, this isn't, and you got to realize, too, that just because he's an executive creative director right now, it doesn't mean that he's calling the shots necessarily and who's going to get hired for projects. It doesn't mean he's the boss of Lucasfilm, but if he does have some input, he might be like, hey, give him Rian Johnson a couple episodes of The Mandalorian. Oh, yeah.
So about a month ago, it was all over the news that Rian Johnson wanted to do Mandalorian, and he went and talked to Dave Filoni about it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We're going to get Rian Johnson Mandalorian pretty much guaranteed.
At least an episode. Now, again, a standalone episode of The Mandalorian, you can mitigate any potential damage. It's not like handing over the reins. The complete story, that's the thing, too. There's a difference between being the writer and director and just the director.
And I think, it might not have gone as bad, and people might not be so mad at Rian Johnson if he had been given more direction. They kind of just basically we're running stuff simultaneously, but no one was really overseeing any of them, and they were undoing. And he basically just undid everything Abrams did, which then Abrams had to undo everything he did, which caused even more shit because people that you did have on your side all hated you too. So that was very damaging. So do I think there's going to be a lot of change? No, I honestly don't. Do I hope there is? Yes. But do I think that this is going to signal a big shift? I think they might be doing it to throw the fans a bone, thinking that,
Well, I think they're looking at, this comes after the Q2 report, and what they have going for them right now in Star Wars. The most successful thing is The Mandalorian, and their numbers were way off from what they thought they were going to be. It is very, very possible that part of the reason for that is the backlash against them firing Gina Carano, is the backlash just in general against Lucasfilm. They cannot afford for the Star Wars Disney Plus shows to fail, and they know that for the most part the fandom likes Filoni and Favreau.
Right. So, they're the ones been bringing it. They're the ones that brought us, the Bad Batch, Mandalorian, the Clone Wars stuff people liked, those kind of things. So, it makes the most sense if you're trying to win the fans back to put Filoni in there. And I'm hoping it signals that they're listening and that we might see a change. But I'm not going to just suddenly think that means it's going to be fixed, because I don't know. Based on previous comments, based on, other things that, have gone on, I don't know if that means we're going to it's going to change for the better or change at all.
No, I don't know. The only way that the culture at Lucasfilm would change completely is if they gut the story group. Because I think that's where 90% of the toxicity is coming from right now.
I agree.
You can trace most of the drama, the political drama, the snark, the condescending attitude. You can trace it back to the story group. You can trace the failure of Galaxy's Edge initially back to the story group.
And I think Filoni and Favreau just want to tell good stories that feel like Star Wars. I mean, at the end of the day, I honestly think that's... Because he even says it's not about him, and he said that a couple times. I think at the end of the day, he just wants to tell good stories and do good things that feel like Star Wars. And if we can get back to that, we'll be golden. If we're going to keep pushing this divisive bullshit and, we're going to double down on characters that fans hate, then we're going to have issues.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
It's their move next.
Yeah, it is. And, does this mean that we're going to have a major shuffle at the top? I don't know, but this could be a precursor, possibly, maybe, to it.
And hopefully in a good way.
Yeah.
But basically right now, what this means, we can't tell you, because he's made comments before that maybe think that he could easily go along with what what the people there now. So I'm hoping it means a change. But this is the first move. We still have to sit back and watch and see what happens next. We don't know yet.
All right, so we will keep an eye on this situation. Go out to piratesandprincesses.net for more Star Wars news and rumors. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.